What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. There was some news that I saw on Twitter today. Apparently, Max Kellerman is all but done with First Take, and he's pretty much going to be demoted to a different position. The reason why I say it's a demotion, because there's not really anything solid that he's leaving for. You know, First Take is ESPN's most popular show. And he's there with ESPN's most popular personality, Stephen A. Smith. But apparently, I don't know if the First Take platform is done. Maybe the ratings have just tanked to where they feel like there's no purpose to the show. And this has changed. And let me just say this. The reason why I feel like this show isn't the same, and I honestly, I don't really think it's the fault of Max Kellerman. I think at first, they thought that Max Kellerman could bring a difference of opinion or a debate style to the table that would be similar to Skip Bayless. But now we've seen that Max Kellerman really cannot think for himself at times. He does take unpopular opinions here and there, but he doesn't want to offend Twitter. And everything on TV now is about tailoring to Twitter. But I think Stephen A. Smith, to them, is more of, he draws more views and more money, so to speak, than Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman does a great job, I believe, with boxing. Maybe he's going to go and do more with boxing. But as far as First Take platform, I think that's all but done. Now let's get into this article from Bro Bible. It says Stephen A. Smith is apparently close to becoming the sole face of ESPN's First Take. According to a report from Office Sports, the longtime host Max Kellerman is expected to be removed from First Take in favor of Smith taking on rotating guest hosts in a format which is described as Stephen A. versus the world. You know what I'm thinking? I think what's going to happen is they're going to have people coming on the show who may not be a part of the ESPN family, the ESPN Disney family. They might bring on, Twitter personalities. You know how much they love Twitter. Bring on professional athletes. They're going to bring on certain celebrities. And I think that's the form they're going to go. I would not be surprised if this was Stephen A. Smith's idea. Not necessarily to demote Max Kellerman and basically kick him off the show, but because Stephen A. Smith wants to have sort of like because again, he's making the most on it. He's the highest paid guy, I believe, at ESPN. He's the one drawing the views and money, right? So they want him to bring challengers to the debate desk so he can debate them, right? And we've seen people who try to debate Stephen A. Smith who aren't used to debating, and he's went at them. And maybe that's what Stephen A. Smith wants to do again. Maybe this is something they've had in the works for quite some time. But I find it interesting how Max Kellerman, it doesn't really have anything solid that he's going to. It's almost like he's been pushed to the side in order to draw a view. I believe this is 100% about drawing viewership. I think this is about trying to up the ratings by saying, hey, we're just going to have guests coming in and debating Stephen A. Smith during the weeks to see if that's going to pop a rating on social media. That's what it seemed like to me, or pop a TV rating, or get social media talking about it, As you can see, this is the tweet here from Office Sports, right? Max Kellerman's nearly 5-long stint at ESPN First Take may be coming to an end. Max Kellerman could leave his debate chair opposite Stephen A. Smith and Molly Karam for more extended duty on TV and ESPN radio, sources told Front Office Sports. But again, yes, for TV and ESPN radio, but again, wasn't he already doing that stuff? He's already doing ESPN radio. He needs to be in his element. I think that's where he shines the most, right? The decision is not finalized, said sources, but if Kellerman leaves, Smith is not expected to have a daily debate partner. Instead, he could debate various ESPN personalities as well as high-profile guests. It could be Stephen A. versus the world, said one source. According to the report, Kellerman is expected to stay at ESPN, but with a different role within the network. Even if Kellerman leaves First Take, he is still expected to play a very prominent role at ESPN. He hosted the Max Kellerman show on ESPN Radio since 2020. I doubt a lot of people watch the show. I could be wrong, but just from a little bit that I saw, it was kind of dry. I mean, maybe y'all are fans of his radio show. He has some talent. I'm not saying he doesn't. He also has his own boxing TV show on ESPN too. So he does have a boxing TV show. So I want to correct that. He has his own show. I know people are going to say that. I don't watch ESPN like that. I haven't watched ESPN like that in about, I don't really watch ESPN like that. I watch it here and there, but I don't watch ESPN like that. I haven't watched ESPN extensively since early 2020. Sources speculated Kellerman could join the morning radio show Keyshawn, Jaye, Will, and Zubin, with Keyshawn, Jay Williams, and Zubin. Zubin has missed significant time on the show due to health problems, which is not good. He could do that. Again, Max Kellerman, I'm not saying the guy doesn't have talent. He didn't get to where he is without being able to show that. When he had his show with Marcellus Wiley, I thought he did good on there, and that's why he was able to get promoted to the desk at First Take. But to me, this just seems like it could be another cost-cutting measure. Maybe it costs a little bit more money for him to be on the First Take desk, rather than he's already doing his radio show and his boxing show duties. Honestly, I think that this to me just shows that they don't feel like I don't think they feel like he is carrying his weight on the show. They don't feel like he's bringing enough. You don't replace a guy unless you truly believe that he is carrying his load. Because you look at Undisputed, right? With Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, both of those guys are still together. We don't have a Skip Bayless versus the world, because obviously Shannon Sharp brings something to that debate desk. And, some people may say debate shows are obsolete now. I don't think so. I just think that you have to have people who are going to draw viewership. You have to be able to think for yourself. You cannot try to take the popular opinion all the time. And when you are a raging SJW like Max Kellerman is, nobody's going to want to see that. I'm sorry. Nobody wants to see a raging SJW on a sports talk show, on a sports debate show every week. So them replacing Max Kellerman is due to people feel like Max Kellerman is just another generic personality, because he doesn't think for himself, especially when he's there on First Take. He doesn't think for himself a lot of times. So they feel like they're not losing anything by replacing him. And honestly, they not, but again, he needs to be somewhere where he's in his element. When he's doing boxing, I think he does way better there. And that might be where he should be. Maybe he fills in on, they're talking about the radios, the morning radio show with Keyshawn Johnson and Jay, Will, and Zubin. Maybe he can do that. I just think that his help could be needed maybe on some of the newer shows. Like I said, the morning show, he already has a radio show. He has his boxing show. That's where he needs to be. Because to me, he is kind of, even though, again, he has shown signs of being somebody that they can rely on that network, especially on First Take. But to me, he takes a lot of basic generic opinions, the popular opinion. He's a raging SJW. So are they really losing anything in the end?